Some people lean in the moment you start talking. Their shoulders shift, their head tilts, and suddenly you are speaking the same silent language. You did not ask them to. You did not perform anything. Their body simply began copying yours without permission. This is one of the quietest signals of real human connection, and most people walk right past it without ever noticing what just happened. You have probably felt it before and brushed it off as nothing. A friend crossing their legs seconds after you crossed yours across the table. Or someone sipping their drink the same moment you reached for yours. Your brain registered it briefly, then dismissed it as random coincidence. It was not random. It was your nervous system being chosen by someone else's without a single word being exchanged. For quiet people, this changes everything you thought you knew about influence. You do not need volume to pull people towards you energetically. You need presence. And presence has a strange way of showing up in other people's bodies before it ever shows up in their words. By the end of this, you will know 3 things clearly: how to spot mirroring in real time without staring or seeming strange, how to gently invite it without forcing anything awkward, and the third one, which most people never learn, is how to use it to know who actually feels safe around you. That third one rewires how you walk into every room from now on. But first, we need to talk about why your usual approach quietly fails. Most quiet people try to earn connection by saying the right thing. They rehearse clever lines, rewatch conversations, search for the perfect response. The problem is, connection does not live in your sentences. It lives in the small physical agreements 2 bodies make underneath the words. You can say something brilliant and feel nothing back. Or you can sit quietly beside someone and feel them slowly soften toward you. That softening is mirroring beginning, and it usually starts long before either person realizes a real bond is being built between them. Here's the first thing almost nobody teaches you about mirroring. It is not something you do, it is something you allow. When you feel grounded and unhurried, other people's bodies naturally drift toward yours. They begin matching your rhythm because your rhythm feels safe. So the first tool is simpler than you expect. Slow yourself down by about 10% before you walk into any social space. Slow your steps, lower your breathing, soften the speed of your hand movements slightly. Your calm becomes the gravitational center of the room. Watch what happens next. Within minutes, someone near you will begin moving at your pace without ever noticing they adjusted. That is mirroring being born in real time, and you created it not by speaking, but by becoming someone worth syncing with. The second tool is about your voice, and this one surprises people. Lower your volume slightly below the room's average noise level. Most people raise their voice to be heard, which creates resistance. You will do the opposite, which creates leaning. When you speak just under the room's volume, people physically tilt closer. Their ear turns, their chin drops, their torso angles toward you slowly. You just invited mirroring through sound alone, and the person leaning in has no idea you engineered that small, beautiful moment. Now here's where it gets interesting for you specifically. Quiet people already speak softer by nature, which means you have an unfair advantage. What felt like a weakness in loud rooms was actually a hidden tool. You were already pulling people in, you just never tracked the proof. Start tracking it now. Notice who leans, who tilts, who quiets their own voice to match yours during your next real conversation. You will be shocked how often it has been happening around you. The signals were there, you just were not trained to read them yet. Let's decode what mirroring actually means underneath the surface behavior. When someone copies your posture, their brain has flagged you as non-threatening and interesting. This is happening in a part of the mind older than language itself. It is the same system that decides whether to relax or stay guarded. When their body chooses to match yours, their guard has already dropped. The conversation that follows will be deeper than either of you planned. But here's the part most people miss completely. Mirroring is not always a sign that someone likes you romantically or socially. Sometimes, it simply means they feel safe enough to stop performing. And for some people, that is rarer and more meaningful than attraction itself. You may be the only person all week who let them exhale. That is a quiet kind of power most charismatic people never actually develop. The third tool is something I call the pause invitation. After someone finishes speaking, wait one full breath before you respond. Not awkward, not theatrical, just a small, honest pause that says you actually heard them. Most people rush to fill silence, which signals anxiety underneath. Your pause signals the opposite. It says their words mattered enough to land before you spoke over them. Watch what their body does during that pause. Many times they will unconsciously mirror your stillness, settling deeper into the chair or softening their shoulders. You just taught their nervous system how to be calm with you. That lesson sticks longer than anything clever you could have said. Now I want to ask you something before we go further. Think back to the last conversation where you felt genuinely connected to someone. Did you notice any mirroring happening, even subtly, between the two of you? Drop a comment describing one small physical sync you remember now. Your example might help another quiet reader recognize a moment they missed. And honestly, writing it down will help you spot it faster next time too. Okay, let's keep going because the next layer is where this gets powerful. There is a difference between surface mirroring and deep mirroring. Surface mirroring is posture, gestures, the obvious physical copying you can see clearly. Deep mirroring is breath rate, blink rate, the rhythm of pauses between thoughts. Surface mirroring tells you someone is comfortable in this moment. Deep mirroring tells you someone is starting to trust you on a level words cannot reach. You can feel deep mirroring before you can see it visually. The conversation suddenly feels slower, quieter, like the room around you faded a little. That fade is two nervous systems agreeing to stop performing for each other. It is one of the most underrated experiences in adult social life. Here's a phrase that quietly invites deep mirroring almost every time. After they share something, simply say, "What was that like for you?" Not what happened next, not what did you do, but what was that like? You just ask permission to enter their inner experience, not their story. Most people have never been asked that in their entire lives. Their body will respond before their words do, settling, opening, sinking to you. Now let's talk about something nobody warns quiet people about. Sometimes mirroring is a signal that someone is trying to read you, not connect with you. A skilled communicator may copy your gestures to build quick rapport in a meeting or sale. This is not bad, but it is different from real connection. You can tell the difference by watching their eyes during the mirroring. Real connection includes a softness in the eyes that surface technique cannot fake. Trust that softness more than any matched posture or copied phrase. Your gut already knows the difference. You just have not given it permission to speak. Here is something worth sitting with for a moment. The people who mirror you most naturally are often the ones you barely have to try around. Notice them. They are showing you who your real social fit is, without anyone saying a word about it. Most people chase the loudest, brightest, most validating person in the room. You're about to start noticing the quiet ones whose bodies already agreed with yours. That shift alone will change who you spend your energy on this year. And your energy is the one resource you cannot afford to spend wrong. Let's go deeper into a tool I think will surprise you. When you sense someone starting to mirror you, do not acknowledge it directly. Do not smile knowingly, do not point it out, do not shift to test it. Just let it happen and stay exactly as you were being. The moment people realize they are mirroring, they often stop because it feels exposed. Your job is to protect the unconscious connection forming between you. You do this by staying boring on the surface and rich underneath. That is one of the deepest forms of social grace most people never develop. Another quiet truth about mirroring is that it travels through groups. If one person sinks to your calm, others nearby start to sink to that person. You become the original signal that quietly reorganizes the energy of the table. Nobody will credit you, and that is exactly why it works so well. The people who change rooms are rarely the ones performing in them. They are usually sitting still, breathing slow, listening like the conversation actually matters. That can be you starting tonight. Without buying any new personality, the traits you have hidden for years are the exact ones this requires. Now here's the reveal I've been holding back the entire time. The deepest form of mirroring is not physical at all. It is emotional pacing. When someone matches the depth of feeling you bring to a conversation, you have arrived somewhere rare. They are not copying your body anymore. They are joining your inner weather. You can invite this without saying anything dramatic or vulnerable up front. You simply allow a small, honest feeling to show in your face for 1 second. A flicker of real interest, a hint of real care, a moment of real curiosity about them. Most people hide these micro-expressions, which is exactly why connection stays shallow. When you let one through, the other person feels permission to do the same. Their face softens, their voice changes pitch, their eyes hold yours 1 beat longer. That is the highest mirror two humans can offer each other, and quiet people, who feel deeply but speak rarely, are built for exactly this kind of moment. You were never behind socially. You were holding a different instrument the loud world never taught you how to play. This week, try one thing only from everything we covered today. Walk into one social space 10% slower than everyone else moving around you. Watch who sings to you without a single word being exchanged between you both. Then come back and tell me in the comments who it was. If something in this resonated, the subscribe button and bell keeps reaching you. The algorithm rewards quiet channels only when quiet viewers tell it to. You do not need to become louder to be felt deeply by the right people. You only need to become someone their body decides is worth following into stillness.